Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are live with Dr. C for Essential Conversations. You guys know I am on every Monday, and I am talking about whatever the Lord tells me to talk about. And today, I'm really excited about our guest that's going to be on. As you guys see, it's purple all around with the purple ribbon. I tried to make sure I was coordinated for what we're going to talk about today. Hi, Charmaine. As you come on, let me know where you're from. Let me know what state, what city, what country, wherever you're from. Let me know that you're here. You guys know I stream everywhere. And so I just want to make sure where you're from. Let me know where you are. I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. I definitely think it's necessary for what we're doing. I see people are already coming in. I'm excited that we get to share tonight. So as you come in, let me know what city, what state, where you're from. Last week, I was so excited because we had somebody on from Canada. I don't know if they're going to be joining us again this week, but I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about on tonight. Hi, Tariq. Oh, hi, Lady Thompson. Hi, Stratton, PA. So we got Princeton, New Jersey. We got Stratton, PA. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to see you on tonight. You guys know I come live some other days of the week, but Monday is the day that I dedicate to talk to you guys about whatever God has given me. And I believe what he has given me tonight is going to be impactful. It is going to help and it's going to change lives. So as you come in, let me know that you're here. Hi, Pittsburgh, Steeler Nation. Oh, all right. That black and gold. Hi, I'm in New Jersey. So, these Giants fans might get a little upset with Steeler Nation, but that's neither here nor there. Did y'all win yesterday? I didn't get to watch the game. I was at a birthday celebration type thing, so I didn't get a chance to see the game. Hi, Owens. How are you? God bless you. Guys, I'm really excited. Come on in. Let me know where you're from. I'm going to take a couple of more seconds because I want to greet the people, say hello. Thank you for coming out and listening in. Honestly, because you could be doing anything else, but you're here with me, so I do appreciate that. Tonight, we're going to be talking about domestic violence, and I have an awesome guest tonight who is going to share, because I do believe it's definitely necessary for us to have this conversation. Tanja, so y'all won yesterday. Okay, so you really repped your team today. Me neither, but we not doing good. I know. I know. So you guys, let me know that you're here. We're going to get ready to get started because I want to make sure y'all know my hair. Y'all know me because y'all talk to me every week. My hair always getting caught up on my glasses. Y'all pray for me. But I don't want to waste any time because I want to give space and opportunity for what we're going to talk about tonight. And I felt like it was necessary to have this discussion. One, because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Hi, Chicago, Chi-Town. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. But also, two, I realized that a lot of people are not having the conversation, that people mention it when they may have experienced it, but they're not having the conversation. And as I was even doing my research today, like I was so moved that I was moved to tears because I realized, even as a young woman, well, I'm 44, I'm still a young woman, that no one ever talked to me about domestic violence. No one ever explained to me what it was or how to deal with it if I ever encountered it or anything of that nature. And I realized that this isn't something that we do. And again, I don't know if other nationalities do this. You guys know I'm a Black woman, so I only speak from a Black and brown perspective. And so I haven't seen, like, I know it's all of these domestic violence organizations and then the National Domestic Violence Movement, but again, not something that we are dealing with in our everyday. So I'm going to bring my guest. You guys know I'm Dr. C, but I am bringing Pastor C. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because now we the C's, y'all. So y'all know I'm Dr. C, and I'm going to bring Pastor C to the forefront. I am so excited that she has consented to come on and talk to us about our topic tonight. So, Pastor C, if you can introduce yourself and tell us why you're the person who's, fit to speak about this topic.
Wow. God bless you all. God bless you all. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever the time zone that you're in. I bring you greetings. I'm excited too. I am Pastor Gwendolyn Carson. I'm about to say End Time Harvest of Rivers of Life Kingdom Outreach Ministries. Also, have a nonprofit organization called I Will Survive Project that was birthed out of my situation of recognizing that I was a victim of domestic violence at old age of 38, 40. I did not realize I was a victim at that time. And
Wow.
I felt as though it was time to have a conversation. It was time to expose. It was time to, really educate what it is, how it is. It's like a mere pulling of the hair.
Wow.
Something like that, pulling of a boy, because boys do that, right? Boys pulling of a girl's hair, that is abuse, something like that. I teach our young people, that you are victim of abuse. So I'm very, very passionate about this topic because I am a survivor.
Well, we thank God that you survived, Pastor C. I love saying Pastor C.
Yeah.
We're so glad that you survived. And honestly, guys, you guys know I don't prepare for these lives. I don't submit questions. I go with God. And this is actually the first time that Pastor C and I met each other. We were introduced through a mutual friend. And I said, okay, this must be it. God, is this it? Is this the person? And he gave me the green light. And so that's why she's here. So I am grateful that you took the time to talk to us about your story. What I wanted to do first, because I think it would be befitting for us to actually give a definition of what domestic violence is. And domestic violence, also referred to as intimate partner violence, dating abuse, or relationship abuse, is a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to maintain power and control over the other. And so, Pastor C, I wanted you, because I heard you mention even in your introduction that at the age of 38, that you then at that time experienced domestic violence. So using that definition, can you kind of just enlighten us on what you went through and what type of domestic violence you were dealing with at that time?
Sure. I didn't realize I was a victim at 38. Once my son, I guess that's when it all began, when my son was shaken to death by my husband. At that time, things began to come up. I contended, I protected, I covered him. Yes, I was that wife, woman who stayed by her man through it all, but as I began to process, all of this, including with my family, including with church, including, dealing with society, the judicial system, everything that surrounded me, things were coming up to identify what this is domestic violence, and then progressively, in the church, I'm in church, pastor and all that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute, you were pastoring at that time?
Yeah, my husband's a bishop.
And your husband was a bishop. See, I told y'all I didn't talk to her about this beforehand. The bishop,
so church is
the
my
Lord's
home.
church.
Huh?
So a bishop in the Lord's church was hitting the. You know what? Let me shut up and let you keep going. You go on, Pastor C.
Yes. Well, you know, I say with all that, I'm grateful that I'm free.
Hallelujah.
You know, free today, because by being a bishop wife, at that time, they're just things you just don't tell. You just don't share, you know. But my whole life was out an open door now, you know, being humiliated, dealing with all kinds of stuff. I'm just trying to go fast, and then you just pull me back in wherever you want. But you know, even
you
dealing
don't
with
have
the
to go
church,
fast,
even
you take your time, because we need this whole story.
I mean, you know,
you take your
dealing with
time.
the church, they don't talk about. I mean, at that time and right now, thank you, Jesus, that now they're talking about DV in the church. But at that time and years back, you just don't talk about that in the church. You know, the leader of that time or church would say, "Oh, we're gonna pray." Okay. I believe in the power of prayer, but there are still things that need to be done. So this is why I'm passionate. Okay. I start, you know, when all this came out, I said, I got to deal with this in the church first. You know, I have to deal with the people in the church, because being a pastor and being a leader, the leaders of the church, oh, we want folks to come inside the church, blah, 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 blah. But do you understand what kind of people are coming in? You know, how are you going to address the people? Okay, you're not able to be that holier than thou when they come in. You know, you have to understand where they are. And even if you don't understand, some help. You know, I'm getting excited. I'm sorry.
No, you get excited, Pastor, because I'm
Get
telling
some
you
help.
Listen,
somebody that can help you pastor, you know, and minister to the brokenness in their lives. You know, I mean, the husband and wives come to church, and these men who are ministers and et cetera, I mean, they busting women up in the head. You know, listen, me again, you know, being a pastor's wife, you know, everything we were a power couple in the public. Our couple, we were seen in public, you know, great, good looking and all that kind of stuff in the public. But my God, you know, we will go home or even the night before, you know, oh Lord, I'm going too heavy.
Okay. No, you go heavy, Pastor. Because now I know why the Lord told me to talk about
I'm
this.
Free today. I'm free today, and I'm permitted. I'm permitted by the Lord, you know, today, that I'm able to share, you know, things that has happened in my household, you know, and like I said, I was a, you know, suffering in silence, that type of woman, suffering in silence. And it took me a minute to really share and to expose, not him. Okay. I still was not exposing him. I was exposing the issue. Okay, that's where it is. And that's just what the word says, you know, like you got to love the person but hate the sin. That's how we're supposed to do, you know. And this is why God I've just got favor, and God got the glory. You know, God got the, oh God.
Whoa. Minister.
God got the glory. God gets the glory. You know, when you go by instruction, word from word, and how he can help you deal, address, handle the situation, because he's our ultimate deliverer. He's our ultimate healer. No man and no woman, okay, can really pull you out of your situation. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You got to recognize that you're broken, you're battered, you're hurt. You may be angry as all heck. No woman, no man. My God. These are things I've learned. These things that I've
Wow.
learned. And this is why I totally depend. Like Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord. All your heart, everything
Mm.
in my heart. I love my man. I love my husband. Nobody couldn't tell me anything. He covered me. I covered him. It was
Wow.
covenant. I was very,
Wow.
very strong in the terminology of covenant. Some folks thought I lost my mind of staying with someone who got indicted for aggravated manslaughter.
He was
However,
indicted.
convicted.
My Lord.
Convicted of child endangerment. Let me just get that right because, folks still spy on me.
Mm.
Folks
They-
still spying. Folks still spy on me. But again, we got to get it right. Don't get it
Mhm.
twisted. Truth is the light. Truth is the light. And when he established you in truth, what it is, come
Oh
on.
my
Ain't
God.
no devil in hell to mess with you. When truth is established, and what
Ah!
it is, being guided by the Holy Spirit, Lord Jesus. Hallelujah.
Pastor, pastor, pastor. Now
Wow.
I know why. And like I told you guys before we started, we literally just met 15 minutes before we went live. And I
Yeah.
purposely said to her, I don't want to hear nothing. I want you, as you give it to the people, I get it the same way so it can be authentic. You guys know if I'm not real, I'm real and I'm authentic. And I wanted to hear her story as you guys heard her story. But now I know why the Lord had her specifically to come on this live, because I didn't even know. Y'all know I don't really talk about the church too much. But now, since we there, let's talk about it. So,
Okay, let's talk about
and
it.
I'm just going to recap, you guys. I'm just going to recap for those of you who are just coming in. Thank you. Hi, I saw Alabama, Mississippi was on. So, you were married to the bishop. You were a first lady. You guys were working in ministry together, saving souls, laying hands. Y'all know I'm dramatic, so I got to do all that extra stuff. Laying hands, saving souls, praying people through. And then that night, or some times even the night before, he was beating you. And then you had to get up and still go help the people. But then, even in that,
Oh,
because you
hold
made a
on.
covenant with him, but because marriage is covenant,
Hold
that
on.
you
Hold on.
covered him. Am I
I want
understanding that correctly?
I want to address. I dealt with all the abuses other than
Physical.
the harsh of physical. Okay.
Oh.
He never punched me in my face. Nothing like
Mhm.
that, But when I found this is what I found what physical abuse is, he spit in my face.
What?
Okay. I found that. I found that out. That was a form of physical abuse
Oh.
/ emotional abuse. Okay. He didn't
Oh.
punch me in my face,
But it was
but I
here.
have been kicked in my back. Okay.
Oh.
I was kicked in my back by somebody else. Okay. So, like I
Mm.
said,
Mm.
there is a
No,
cycle.
because
There is a
honestly,
cycle
physical
that you
abuse,
go
you
through.
see the bruises, but emotional abuse is worse. And I'm not discounting either or whatever, but at the end of the day, those emotional scars and wounds that you have to deal with, or I just can't even imagine. And think about even as a child, and I'm just using this as an example, it's not the same thing. But if somebody tells you all your life you're growing up, you're ugly, you're never gonna be nothing, nobody's ever gonna want you, and all these other things, after a while, you're going to start believing that. That's a form of emotional abuse. That you're going to start believing that. You're going to start believing that you're nothing, that nobody's going to want you. If you leave me, ain't nobody going to want you. Nobody ain't going to, what you call it. And there are men who deal with domestic violence as well. But right now we're speaking of her situation or whatever. There are men who tell women that as a form of mind control.
Oh, sure.
So it's like, if you don't believe as a woman that you can get somebody else and this is the best you can get, and you don't deserve anything more, then that's what you're gonna stick with. That's what you're gonna continue to encounter and do. And so I'm just grateful that the Lord delivered you. Because for no other reason, it's for you, the fact that you started your own foundation, and in your introduction, you talked about speaking to children. And in my research earlier today, it talked about children in domestic violence. And the people automatically, and when I spoke to Pastor C, I told her, I didn't realize in my research today until a friend of mine told me. She said, do you realize that you're a product of domestic violence? And I had to think about it, because I was like, well, I've never been hit or abused by a man in that way, or emotionally or anything either. But that is because growing up, my mother had enough courage. I grew up in South Carolina. I was born in South Carolina until the age of 10. And my mother, who at that time was with my stepfather, he was on his way to work, and he told her, when I come home, I'm going to kill you. And that's how I ended up in New Jersey, because my mother packed us up in the car and said, what you ain't gonna do is this. And even though she had dealt with things for a long time, my mother knew she had to get out. And she made the brave decision to get out. She didn't care if no clothes were packed or nothing. She got us out and got us out. And that's what saved her life. And I am confident that we would not be here today if my mother wasn't brave enough to make the decision to say enough is enough. And when I thought about that, I said, that did dictate a lot of the decisions I made when it came to the type of men that I dated. And so when I was a teenager, this guy got mad at me because, well, it was the truth. I was dating a few people and him. However, he found out about it. And instead of having a conversation with me, he decided the way to get back at me was he thought he was going to hit me. And luckily we were outside. So a bunch of people are outside, and it was like, oh, nah, man, you're not going to hit her. You don't hit no woman or whatever. And I mean, afterwards, he never got to me. But afterwards, he profusely apologized. I said, oh, no, this is what I don't do. And I said, I accept your apology, but this is over. Because I remember what my mother went through. And I said, if you hit me once, if I make you that angry that you come out of character, then I'm not the one for you.
That's right.
And that's pretty much how and I lived my life like that. The minute I saw a sign, but it's because of how I grew up. The minute I saw anything remotely that looked like, if you raised your voice wrong, I was like, deuces, I'm out. I'm out.
No.
So I want to talk about, when did you get the courage to start your foundation, I Will Survive?
The courage, the strength and the courage, because I know that I was not alone. I knew I was not alone. I am not the only first lady. I'm not the only woman, that has gone through it or going through it, and some who have gone through it still are broken, still are hurt, still not able to deal with, still have a healthy relationship. Oh, no, we can't have that. We cannot continue to go into cycles. Keep going through cycles and cycles, dysfunctional cycles. This is why I'm passionate. I mean, if you're going to have any kind of everybody want a good relationship. Everybody want a healthy relationship. I want a good man. A man want a good woman. Well, how is that going to happen when you haven't addressed or dealt with the situation of yesterday? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I'm passionate about us women, because us women, are very emotional. We want to be loved, you know,
Yeah.
we want to be loved, but we want to be loved right. You know what I'm saying? We want to be loved right.
Right.
Hey, can you love right? Hmm? And you love right. So here I am, I want us to be healthy, emotionally stable, and us being hooked together. Let's do this thing together. So this is why, I Will Survive Project is a very passionate, and I also deal with women who were incarcerated, as well as the ones who were or formerly incarcerated. Because I also ministered before in the prison as well. So you'll find a lot of them in there
Yeah.
who were affected, who were victimized as well. So
Now you talked about the fact that you, of course, and I thank you for giving that clarification on the type of abuse that you dealt
yeah,
with. Although, as we stated, you guys, with the definition, all of that falls under domestic violence.
it does.
I wanted to talk about, because what you talked about in your testimony is just so powerful. And unfortunately, the church does not deal with domestic violence. And I'm saying the church as a whole, you guys. I'm not talking about your particular church. If y'all got a ministry, great. I'm not talking about that. I'm
Coming
just
along, the
speaking
church
in
is coming along.
general that there's no, like, first and foremost, the fact that when you get married, and we're speaking specifically in this situation because, of course, Pastor C said she was married. You're supposed to leave your parents and cleave unto this man. And this man is now supposed to become the priest of your house and protect and cover you. That's Bible.
Mm-hmm.
To protect and cover you. And then as his wife, you're then supposed to submit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they teach us.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are going to talk about this another time, because I also believe that a lot of churches do not teach you how to be married. That's another story for another day.
Oh
But
yeah,
they
that's a
don't
good
teach
one.
you how to be married. They tell you what you got to do so you won't fornicate. But they don't tell you what to do once you get a husband or a wife. They just tell you
Yeah.
you got to get married. But they don't tell you how to stay married a lot of times.
Right.
Again,
Maintain
not
it.
talking about everybody church. I'm just talking about what I've experienced.
Oh no, you're
What
true.
I've
This is
seen.
true.
They tell you get married, you find it. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. You get found, and then you get married. You get a little bling, and then all of a sudden, 2-3 years later, when all hell break loose,
Boom.
because we all know, if we want to talk Bible, the devil hates covenant. So when you get married, the enemy gonna be on your trail. Not,
Yes.
oh, we gonna live blissfully, happily, and happily ever after. I'm telling you, if you're single, I've been married 10 years, the enemy is going to be on your track. He hates covenant. So that means the minute you say, I do, I hope you can fight in the spirit, because you're going to start fighting.
Learn. Oh, yeah.
So with that, that's just base thing. We're going to talk about that another time, though, because that's base level.
Learning how to be a praying wife.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that the place where you're supposed to seek refuge, the church is a hospital. It's the place where you're supposed to seek refuge and strength. And you talked about it, and about how the fact that you still had to go in and be that perfect first lady. And that goes into the fact that we have to wear these masks. Yes. When we're dealing with emotional and physical and verbal abuse, we still have to wear these masks and rise to the occasion, because you're told that you're still supposed to cover your spouse. Right.
Yes.
So in your covering, you're being abused, and because no one is talking about it and telling you what to do, and I was on the live last week when the overseer that I was on with, she told me that when she went to the church and told them that her husband at the time was beating her and stuff, They said that she needed to give it to him better for him to stop hitting her. This is what she said. Y'all rewind and go to the tape. I was on there last Tuesday. Overseer said she was told that if she gave it to him better, and y'all know what gave it to him mean, that he wouldn't beat her or emotionally abuse her as much. And so I'm saying this to say that we as a people, period, we can't just talk about domestic violence. We got to equip men and women and even our children. Because when I was doing research earlier, and you guys know I love doing the little banners and all this other stuff, they talked about, look, dating. 36% of dating college students have given a partner their computer, email, or social media passwords. These students are likely experiencing digital dating abuse. First of all, I didn't even know that existed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Digital dating abuse. So now, if I don't give you my password to my phone and stuff, now you're going to start acting crazy and going bonkers. Or if you can't get into my DMs, then you're going to go crazy. Then I read 38% of college students say they don't know how to get help for themselves if they experience dating abuse. So we as adults have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
To educate our children, because let's be for real, you said it started with you at 38. They are talking about, there are some kids, first of all, I have a 6 and a 7-year-old. They not dating. But let me tell you this one. They say approximately 1 in 5 women and 1 in 7 men who experience rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner first experience some form of partner violence between the ages of 11 and 17. So we're thinking, oh, I just got to make sure that I don't marry the wrong person, or I got to just make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do. And we sending our babies to school between 11 and 17, and somebody probably already violated them.
That's right.
This is so deep.
And family members too.
About it.
And family members too. You know, you have our young girls still getting molested, our babies. You know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They go as younger than 11. You know, I mean, what you have, banner, this is only what's reported.
Exactly.
I remember only what's reported.
Exactly.
So there are things, I don't want nobody to know that my boyfriend did this, or my uncle or my father did this. See, this is how this cycle goes. You know, it's amazing. We still need to address it. It's not going away. It's not going
away. And truth be told, when you talked about the underreporting, I'm only talking about Black and brown houses. We're told whatever happens in my house stays in my house.
Yeah.
So if you're told that and someone violates you, or you don't know where to get help from, because the statistics already said this happens to people and they don't know what to do. This happens to college students. So if your child is away at college and things are happening, and because you've already taught them from a young child, what goes on here stays here and all this other stuff, you're teaching them to be secretive. And then we wonder why our children don't talk to us.
Right. It's scary. It really is.
It really truly is scary. Like, honestly, I was emotionally spent, as they say, earlier today, because when I started reading the statistics, and as you stated, that's what's reported. I honestly believe that Black and brown families don't report. If that's the case, let's think about it. When you go to the family reunion, how many people can sit and say, that uncle touched me, that aunt touched me, this one hit me? It's in the Black family, and we keep suppressing things and acting like we keep them under the rug,
that people are going to miraculously be free. And we wonder why these boys grow up and they're killing their girlfriends. I just read something earlier. Someone sent to me just as soon as yesterday. He killed his girlfriend in front of their 3 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've seen that.
That was the only way out for her. Was he going to kill her out?
Yeah.
And so now those children are going to be scarred the rest of their lives because she didn't get a chance to get out. And now they witnessed their mother die in front of them.
Yes.
And that's why it is so important that while we're talking about this topic, I don't care how much rejection you've dealt with. I don't care how much abandonment you dealt with. You deserve more than being laid up with some low-life joker who doesn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated. The problem is, though, that some of us have never been treated well our entire lives. So when somebody says they love us, that's an automatic, you love me so you could do whatever you want to do to me.
That's another one too. That's why it's so important to teach, to educate. And along with education is providing strategies on how to do, how to do this. When you see this, what to do in a situation, and along with that, it's important to affirm your sister. Affirm, you are beautiful. You are wonderful. Hey, I'm not gay or anything like that, but I want to let you know God said it and I believe it. I see your hair is beautiful. Look at your blonde hair. Oh my God. Look at that gorgeous round face. Oh my God. You got a cocoa. You're a cocoa girl. Those things.
Right. So let me stop.
I'm talking about you.
When somebody do that, you be like,
blonde, glowing, things like this. Yes, you are. Okay. Now we have to absorb that information in us. Look at the mirror and say, yeah, I am kind of browns. I do got a little glow. I can. You know what I'm saying? We need this for one another. We need this for ourselves. Y'all talk about this self-care. Really? Okay. What is really self-care? Just getting a pedicure? Just getting a massage?
It's funny that you say, see, this is why I love the way God compartmentalizes in work.
I'm all over the place.
No, you is exactly where you are supposed to be. Because I am telling you, I talked about it a few days ago or whatever, when I talked about the importance of us women really, truly uplifting and binding together. And how from the creation of the world, we've been taught, especially as Black and brown women, to be in competition with each other. So I can't tell you your shoes are nice because then that's going to make it seem like I'm sweating you or I'm trying to be you or I'm jealous of you. So I can't tell you, like before this live, Pastor C looked at me and said, "Oh, those are nice glasses." I said, "Oh, I got these from Amazon." Immediately. It doesn't take anything away from me for me to share with my sister exactly where I got something from or what I'm doing. But the problem is that a lot of women, because of the way we were raised, we're automatically in competition with people. It's like, oh, so her husband do this, so now my husband do that too. Or I got red bottoms, oh, so let me go paint the soul so she could think I got some too. Instead of saying, you know what? I don't know what that sister been through. But the fact that she's still standing, I commend her for that. Sis, you keep doing what you're doing. Sis, you honestly, if as sisters, as you stated, if we patted each other on the back and pushed each other, we wouldn't need a man to try to validate who we are. We would know who we are before we get connected to these bozos who try to make us think we're nothing. because that's what happens. And I said it on the live a few weeks ago. Men can smell insecurity.
Wow.
Men can smell it.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they can
I was about
smell
to
it.
say
They'll
that.
be like, they don't care how many
Yeah.
inches your weave is.
Yeah.
They don't care how high your heel is. They can smell when you're insecure. And when they know you're insecure, they're going to play on that. It's going to be, oh, you beautiful today. You like, thank you. They were like, oh, you this and you that. And you're going to melt right into that. How I know? Because it happened to me.
Yeah.
Somebody who I would have never dated in my entire life. To this day, I be looking at pictures of him like he ugly. But because of what he told me, you're beautiful, you're smart, I'm so lucky to have you. And then I got with that, I'm not going to say the N word because they're going to cut my live off. But then when I got with him, all of a sudden, he started acting crazy.
Yeah.
And then he started acting crazy. And so I just say that to say, at the end of the day, women, if we really truly bound together in relationships and friendships where we trusted each other, where we really were truly sisters, then at the end of the day, we wouldn't need validation from no man. We wouldn't take the validation. We would just know who we are.
And it's hard to, because women generally have trust issues. Okay, women are infamous having trust issues with another female. Okay, let alone with another male. Okay, me. I had trust issues. I had trust issues because I didn't know what you were going to say about me or how you thought about me or what was going to come out of my mouth. Judging. Okay. You're going to judge me for this and judge me for that. You know, you don't know me. You don't know my story. You don't know what I went through. You don't even know how I'm feeling. You know, so that's another thing. If we learn how to embrace one another, you know, that's another thing. I'm a stickler for these things, okay? Because I've been through this. You know, I was judged from to the top to the bottom. You know, so I am, because I'm really passionate that we women need to get it together, okay? The trusting how I got delivered, okay, from my trust issues. Listen, I love God and I love the Word of God. The Word of God gave me instruction. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Now, what's in your heart? You love that man. You love that man, huh? I love my girl. I love this. I love that. But I got to trust God. What I hold so dear.
Wow.
You know, God, listen. Help me. You know how to deal with this, right? Okay. I'm trusting you, you know, so that I'm able to walk right. I'm trusting you with this relationship. And my God, if I'm putting my relationship in your hands, I'm depending on you. This relationship, he gonna show me, he gonna block it, or he gonna say, let it ride. You know what I mean? That's how he works, because God will block it. Y'all talk about little crochet. Oh, he blocked it. He blocked it. Yeah, God will block it if you put it in his hands. You trust God with it. He gonna block it. He's gonna block what's against his will and the will for your life.
Now, when you were going through, did you have any girlfriends or female friends that were kind of helping you through that? Because you said you had trust issues. Like, did you have somebody in that time?
In what time were you talking
about? In the
time
when you were married and you were dealing with, you know, Bishop.
Right. Right in the beginning of our relationship, of my dating and all that, and going and being married, I never told anybody about what I was experiencing with my husband. Even the day before we got married, he spit in my face and then said, "I'm sorry. Please, 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 please don't back out of the wedding." So I never told anybody
wow.
about that. I was just afraid. Now, when the trials came with shaking of my son and the taking away of my daughter, that's another situation. I
Mm.
first took my daughter because of the love that I still remain with my husband.
So your daughter
So
was taken to Child Protective
that
Services.
that is correct.
Wow.
Yeah, that is correct. When my son got shaken to death, then I was pregnant after that. If it's found out I was pregnant, waited until I had that baby, it was set up that they were going to take my baby from me in the hospital. God blocked it. They didn't. I had my child. I had my child down. I kept my child for like maybe 2 months down the line, and then DYFS came in the home and took my child away from me.
For those of you who are not in New Jersey, because in New Jersey is DYFS, the Department of Youth and Family Services.
Yes.
In New York is ACS. It's
Yeah.
basically whatever state or wherever you're from, it's a child protective services agency that comes in, of course, if things are happening within the home to take the child. So
Correct.
your daughter was taken from you. Your
Mhm.
son was shaken by him.
Mhm.
And then you were pregnant after that.
I was pregnant. No, my son was shaken. I was pregnant with my daughter. And that's the daughter who was taken away. Yeah.
Wow.
And it got to the point where the judge was after me for real, for real. And a lot of stuff was going on in the city anyway. So we were pretty much target. A lot of abuse. A lot of abuse happened in in the state of New Jersey, and I think maybe we might have been an example as well. But it got to the point that my rights were terminated as a parent.
Jesus.
Still a pastor.
So your two children that you birthed,
Right. Mm-hmm.
because of your living conditions with your husband.
Well, no, my love
Your love for him.
for my
Because you didn't
husband.
wanna-
Because we did the conditions was that he had to leave, so that he can go to the trial. So we complied. I complied. We found an apartment for him, so we stayed separate, while I had my child. But the judge did not care. It didn't matter. I don't care. He live over here, and you live over there, And when I finally got my daughter back after 4 years, I lost my pill. And then there was a couple of organizations said this woman really got a raw deal, because she did not abuse a child, when it went to the highest court in the land in Trenton. Not every cases go to that particular court. My case went to that court, and the judges specifically said that it was a matter of the heart.
Wow.
It was a matter of the heart. My child should never have been taken away.
Wow.
From me.
Wow.
All the hell, all the gossip, all the opinions, all the judgment. And now God stepped in. And the judges told society it was a matter of the heart. Oh God. Oh God. She is not an unfit mother.
Wow. Wow.
Mind you, still trying to preach at the church.
And you were doing all of that, still trying to preach and help save and deliver others when you were in your own pain yourself. And that's what we're constantly told to do is, in spite of what you're going through, you got to press and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm not saying
that there are not certain things that you have to press through. But the fact that you could still stand up in front of the people while your heart was literally breaking, because I can't even imagine. Like, I have a 6 and a 7-year-old. I can't even imagine. Like, just thinking about it, my heart breaks for you. And I know that was a long time ago.
It was.
But it's still the feeling of the fact to have your child taken away from you for no fault of your own, only because you loved somebody.
Yeah.
And then for you to have to go through all that, because you guys who don't live in New Jersey, get into Trenton. Trenton is like the capital. So you got to go through all this process to get to that. So to endure and still be able to preach to the people.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't nothing but God giving you supernatural strength. Your commitment to the people,
That's
God.
why I learned obedience. That's why I learned obedience has so much power. You know, humility has so much power. You know, it builds your character. You know, and like, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. Just hold on. You know, hold on to His word. You know, know that God never leaves and He never forsakes it. He doesn't abandon you. You know, my ex-husband, he had abandoned me, you know, because he had multiple affairs. Okay. He had multiple affairs. So I was abandoned even in our marriage. God, He'll never promise is a promise from God. I'm telling you. And He never fails. I'm telling you, He never fails. He never fails. You know, I don't know. Healing, it will heal your heart. No, He will heal your heart. But you got to have faith in it. You know, it ain't going to work. You're not going to get healed. You won't get healed if you don't have faith in this thing. You know, you got to help yourself get healed. You know, so having faith in His word and experience that God is with me. I may not have friends. I mean, you know, I'm just speaking, you know, I may not have someone I can really trust or I can talk to, you know. I know I can talk to the Lord and He'll talk back, you know. So, and then there's forgiveness. I had to forgive a lot of people, a lot of people in my circle, you know. And God helped me. This is it. This is the thing. God helped me to understand where they were. They may not have understand where I was at. Oh, God helped me to understand where they were in their mindset of seeing me in my situation. So in turn, I learned to forgive.
Wow.
You know those footsteps. Nobody can walk in your footsteps, right? Okay, you can understand my footsteps. Okay, so how can I expect you to agree or understand or get with it, or get with me? You know what I'm saying? So I had to understand that, then turn and learn to forgive.
Wow. And you guys, I want you to understand, and like I said, we just met on this live. I'm so honored that she said yes. But the tears are not because some women misconstrue tears. The tears are not because I'm still there. The tears are but God tears. Because when you're in that moment, and honestly, I know when I even share my own testimony or whatever, and I just think about all of the things that the Lord has allowed me to live through.
Yeah.
It brings me to tears because I'm saying some people died in what I experienced.
Yes.
But God. And so when I see your tears, I see such strength in them because it's like, I survived this. And because I did, you can too.
Amen.
You can get out.
Amen.
You can survive. You don't have to take it. And again, and as she already stated, she was a pastor and a first lady. She's still a pastor, but even in that moment, and yet and still, she truly still she had an assignment. She kept her assignment, and the Lord avenged her.
Oh.
He avenged her. So I'm telling you, and I'm sure there are people watching who've dealt with domestic violence, some who may encounter this video who are dealing with it now. You have a choice.
Yeah.
You have a choice. And again, like she said, when she was in it, she couldn't trust no one. No one really knew to what extent. And that's probably your story too, because how do you explain something that is unexplainable? Like, how do you bring it to words? All of these different emotions and things you're dealing with, especially if you have children that's involved. Yeah. But I believe today that if you make up your mind, and as she stated, that you trust in God and believe that he'll never leave you nor forsake you, that you can get out, and you can get out alive. Alive. Because that's the key, to get out alive. Don't stay thinking that it's going to get better. As she stated, he spit in her face the day of the wedding, and then begged her to still marry him.
Next day.
And because you loved him and you felt like, okay, maybe it'll get better. I'm gonna still marry him. And of course, now you hear her story. So don't think that it's going to change, that it's going to get better, that if you do something different, because a lot of women think, well, if I give more to him, if I do this for him, if I show him the perfect wife, you don't have to change anything about you to make a man love you the way you deserve to be loved. You don't have to change anything. If he don't like your hair, he shouldn't have married you in the first place. He shouldn't. Your hair was fine when you was walking down the street and he was like, "Hey, boo," or "How you doing?" or "What's up, shorty?" Or I don't know what they use now. You litty? I don't know. You got swag? I don't know. I don't have no young girl, but But I'm saying it to say you were fine then. But then the minute you get with them, then all of these things are wrong with you. And as women, because we want to be loved, we want to be appreciated, we want to please whoever we're with. You're doing backflips for somebody who doesn't even deserve that. And I don't care if he is your husband. You don't have to change who you are. Granted, there are things that we have to grow into and mature.
Yeah.
But change the very fiber of who you are is a problem. It's a problem. And so I just wanted to say, because my time is almost up, guys, I don't try to wig y'all out, but I feel in my spirit. I feel in my spirits. I only got one, y'all, the Holy Ghost, but I feel in my spirit that, and now I understand why the Lord wanted me to deal with this topic, because although it's domestic violence month, there is clearly something going on with women dealing with us devaluing ourselves for the sake of being in love. And so I am on a mission I don't care if there's only one person who hears my voice, to get women free and delivered from needing a man in order to feel loved and appreciated.
Yeah.
You should feel that way about yourself every day. If he never says nothing to you, if you ain't got no man now, this is a perfect opportunity. And yes, I said that. Y'all know I got a doctorate degree, but if you ain't got no man right now, this is a perfect opportunity for you to, like she said, take some self-reflection and learn to love yourself. And I don't mean by getting a pedicure and your nails done, because those are all masks. Some of the most confident women don't even do all of that. Build confidence and self-esteem in yourself. And honestly, the only way you'll really truly find out who you are and be comfortable who you are is when you become one with God.
Amen.
Because when you know who he
Amen.
is, he's going to tell you who you are, and then you're going to walk in that. Ask me how I know.
Hey.
Ask me how I know.
Amen.
So I want to say thank you so much to Pastor C. We're going to have to do this again, Pastor. I'm sorry if I'm going to wear you out.
No,
But
it's a passion for me. It's fine.
I'm just grateful that you took this opportunity to come on. You guys, again, her organization is I Will Survive. I'm going to post some information. And again, if you are experiencing domestic violence, I cannot leave this broadcast without putting a phone number. If you don't have anybody to call this number and get help and find out how to get out. Get a plan. Get a plan. Don't just run. Get a plan. So when you run, you never have to come back.
Woo.
Pastor C, what's that you holding? Standing on Trial. I Need to Survive. Is that a book?
Yes.
Y'all, I'm posting the book. I didn't even know she was a book author. I told y'all this is my first time talking to her. So I'm about to post her book. Y'all need to go get it. Buy it again. Listen, if y'all know y'all see me, my church people, if y'all need I'll go get the book because I'm in Jersey and bring it to you. That she ain't even got to ship it to you. I'll go get it because this is necessary. It is necessary. Now I understand why I needed to talk about this. It is truly necessary. And again, as we stated, domestic violence is not just physical abuse. Think about some of your past relationships and some of the things that you've encountered with these bozos you've been with. I'm saying bozos. Yes, that's what I said. And because we can learn from our mistakes. I'm learning even sitting here from my mistakes of the people that I dated and the men that I encountered prior to getting married. I thank the Lord that I'm not dealing with that in my marriage. I thank God for that. So I can't even imagine, but I believe that it is necessary for us to get women free. And you don't have to deal with a man sitting up there cheating on you every time you get a chance. You know, because that is abuse. That is abuse. If you're not good enough for him to be faithful, that is abuse. And you deserve better.
Getting them free, as well as free, being healed, delivered, but also sustaining a healthy relationship with yourself and with others.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Pastor C. I am truly appreciative. And before I go, I have to say, because she was on here, thank you so much to Pastor Alicia Cooper for connecting us. Pastor Cooper, she's also Pastor C too, Pastor Cooper. Yeah. These C's, you know. So I just want to say thank you. I am honored that you would take the time out and to have this conversation with us. The comments are just coming in. Again, guys, please like, share, do watch parties after this so your friends and your family, because again, do not make assumptions that people are not dealing with this. They are. Don't make the assumption. They are hiding it. They're masking it. They don't want us to know. Again, share this information and let's get our women some help. And again, there are men who are dealing with this too. Let's get the people some help. Yeah. So God bless you. Oh, there go Pastor Cooper right there. I love you both. We love you too. Thank you so much for the divine connection, because it was definitely God divine. I'm telling you guys, it was divine. Y'all know. So I'm excited about what the Lord is going to do based on our connection. But I want to say, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you guys know, I don't know what I'm talking about. Wait for the Lord to tell me. So God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Bye. If I can find my mouse, guys. Oh, there it is.